Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Divine Feminine Friday the 13th energy activation. This is a bit of a fun activation that we have today. When I saw that it was not only Friday, but also the 13th, I just knew I had to bring through this sort of activation because the number 13 is such a great representation about how the Divine Feminine has been treated in the world as of late. And the divine feminine is anciently associated with the number 13, largely because of the lunar calendar. So the lunar calendar is 13 cycles of 28 lunar days in a year. And so 13 cycles, times 28 days equals 364 days, which is very close to our modern calendar year. And instead, it brings through this process of balance, of going with the natural flows of nature and going with the natural energy flows that arise within us because we are truly animals. We are earthlings. We bring a higher dimensional soul and consciousness with us, but we are humans. We are the earth. We are of the earth in these physical bodies. And we cannot necessarily escape the cycles and the energy flows that we are quite literally comprised of and connected to. And our disconnection from the earth, from these cycles, is to blame for a lot of what we suffer from. A lot of our confusion, it comes from a disconnection, a discombobulation of our natural flow, of our natural cycles. Hence, the modern calendar has different days in each month, and it really throws you off, It throws you off that sort of inner guidance system where you don't necessarily know what day it is, and you don't know the date and this and that, and the new moon, full moon falls on a different date each year, and there's not a whole lot of structure. And you will notice that a lot of systems in our modern cultures are designed to throw us off our natural cycles, to discombobulate us, to confuse us, to cause us to lose track of our natural cycles. Because in a lunar calendar, the months start and end on the same day each month. And so it's a lot easier to keep track of where you are in a lunar cycle and in your personal cycle. Where are you in your emotional cycle, in your menstrual cycle, so on and so forth. And so the divine feminine was revered for having this physical embodiment and connection to the microcosmic, macrocosmic cycles, structures, systems of our reality. And so there was a lot of beauty and reverence and worship in that is well deserved in the divine feminine. And the divine feminine and masculine, they are not gendered. We each have a balance of both. And a lot of the imbalance in the world today is because the divine feminine was purposely taken from her seat, thrown from her throne, and, hidden, killed, pushed away, repressed, oppressed. And so the divine masculine on its own isn't, the divine masculine isn't inherently evil. It's just that we need a balance of the both to have balance, to have harmony, to have flow, to have systems that benefit not just some, but all, for there to be a place for any and all in any given system. So today, and then, okay, just to finish my thought thread, then that comes forward in representations like the demonization of the number 13. Once revered, once beautiful, once held in reverence and worship, now treated as an unlucky number. And the divine feminine is associated with number 13. So the depth of this meaning is infinite. It's truly infinite. It's reflected in nearly every single societal structure and system we have. And you've probably noticed an awakening of the divine feminine. You've maybe even seen this divine feminine association with the number 13 in your field of awareness over the past few months and weeks, because I've been seeing it come into the common awareness again too. And so this practice is just to give us a moment to really tune into the divine feminine, to awaken, to balance those energies within ourselves, give ourselves a chance to move. And when we move energy through the body to give ourselves a chance to reflect on our current balance of divine feminine and masculine energy within us. If there is anything that is wounded, needs to be healed, needs to be balanced, needs to be uplifted, needs to be released, we give it space to do so in this practice. And so in the beginning, we're doing a bit of a breath work, nothing too intense or inaccessible. And then we're doing a bit of light movement. And then we will settle down, calm it down, cool it down, and bring ourselves into an intuitive space to receive guidance from the divine feminine. So that can be the divine feminine archetype itself, that can be the divine or the divine mother, the great mother, divine feminine deities, archangels, whatever it might be that you connect with personally. I want it to be personal to each of us because there's no singular divine feminine archetype or one version of divine feminine. There's infinite and expansive versions of the divine feminine reflected through all of us. And so you will be given the space to connect to whatever is in your highest good, in your closest alignment, in your highest alignment to connect with. So if that feels like it's an alignment for you today, I welcome you to join me. Thank you for being here. I'm hoping that by me sharing my video in this activation, by showing my weirdness and wildness online, that you will feel safe and more comfortable to be wild and weird in your self-expression in the privacy of your home, in the privacy of your solitude. May we be weird and wild together, okay? And that's really how the divine feminine works best, is when she can just be who she is without judgment, without a container, right? All right, so I'm going to begin the audio. We're doing a drumming track today so we can kind of get into the rhythm and the flow of our ancient self, ancient DNA, ancient soul lineage. Take a sip of water before we begin. Alrighty, so I recommend that you do this practice in a seated position so that you can really move as you need to. And you can set yourself up so that you can lay down for the intuitive portion at the end if you prefer, or you can just sit upright and surrender inwards as I will be. So getting into a comfortable position, closing your eyes, we are going to begin by first visualizing a field, a circle, a sphere of golden white divine light surrounding us, protecting us, knowing that we are divinely safe and protected, protecting our home or whatever space we are in, protecting our family, giving the divine feminine a safe space to emerge within, to emerge, to erupt, to shine, however she's going to express today. And from our hips or from our feet, we'll grow roots down into the earth, feeling it grow deeper and deeper through layers of stone and earth, water, crystal, magma. Feeling the earth, hearing the earth move to make way for your roots as they descend and anchor in deep into the earth. Setting the intention now to release any and all energy that no longer serves your highest good out of your body, out of your field, down your roots now. To release any and all inhibitions, any restrictions, any insecurities that may prevent you from expressing your divine feminine nature today. Releasing any fear of your primal strength, of your beauty, of your magnitude, of your depth. Releasing that all. Clearing out those surface layer inhibitions and resistances. Making way for deeper healings, deeper clearings, deeper balancings in this activation. And with this slightly clearer energy space, we begin the breath. So we are going to breathe in through the mouth and out through the mouth with a pursed lip, almost like you are sucking the air in and blowing it out. And you can place your hands on your belly And feel the gentle rise and fall of your stomach with this breath. And this is a sensual breath because we can feel the sensation of the breath on the lips, on the tongue, the sweetness of the air as it inflates our lungs and our chest. And on the exhale, we can feel the surrender and the completion of the breath. We can feel the nourishment of the breath cycle we just received. You can feel the hands on the belly as the stomach rises and falls. And just fully leaning into the sensation of the breath for a few rounds of breath here. The Divine Feminine is deeply mirrored in the experience of having a physical body. Often, a more Divine Masculine spirituality chases ascension. It chases or wants to run away from the physical experience, where the Divine Feminine anchors our highest consciousness into divine embodiment. It relishes in the beauty and the pleasure of physicality, without the distortion, without the corruption. And from here, I welcome you to bring in a flow of the hands. So bringing your hands face palms up, pinkies facing inwards at the height of your belly button, fingertips together. On your inhale, through the pursed lips, bring your hands up over the front of your body. And on the exhale, flipping your hands down, fingertips together, thumbs towards your chest. Bring your hands down the front of the body. Hands rise, palms up on the inhale. Palms descend on the exhale. Energy rising and building on the inhale. Energy settling and integrating on the exhale. And you can bring this womb to mouth, womb to third eye, womb to crown and back, wherever you want to bring the energy to and between. For any masculine people who are meditating with us today, the Hara, H-A-R-A, is the masculine equivalent to the womb space in the same exact spot. So you will breathe through your Hara space, through your sacral chakra. And on your inhales, begin to feel an energy building in your third eye. This might be a spiral of light that manifests at your third eye as you bring your hands up to it on the inhale. And you might feel any sort of spinal sensation at this moment. You might feel the movement of Kundalini energy. You might feel tension or pain or discomfort. That is the Kundalini wanting to rise but being blocked. You might feel nothing. Tuning into how your spine is feeling with this breath as you bring energy up and down through your central column. And now with this note of how you are feeling in your spine, I welcome you to bring a gentle arching forward and backward of the spine with the breath. So on the inhale, your hands rise, your chest and your stomach bend or come forwards, arching through the back. And on your exhale, your hands come down and you round through the spine. And from here, you can invite your hands to move intuitively. You can separate them and move them in opposite directions with each inhale, with each exhale. You can bring some gentle movement, maybe side to side in the spine, as well as front to back. Maybe a gentle twist each side, slowly, consciously, just freeing up any space, any tension in the spine to allow the energies to flow more easily. If it feels right, I welcome you to bring in a gentle rotation of the spine, keeping your hips planted and moving your chest, your ribs in a circle. You can roll out the neck and even bring your head and your neck into the rotation. Maybe switching directions. And with this movement, I invite you to begin audibly exhaling through the mouth. So you can start with a sigh on your next exhale. Deep breath in through the nose or the mouth. Exhale, sigh. When you bring that throat H sound on your exhale, it's very clearing, it's very cleansing, it's very stimulating to the vagus nerve. Helps your body know that it is safe, that it is protected, and that you can begin to relax, release the mind, release the thoughts, and lean into physical presence, physical embodiment. Feel the consciousness of your body. Feel your consciousness in your body, as your body, with your body. Feel the gift of your physical embodiment that you have been gifted and given in this lifetime. Beginning to make sounds with your exhales. You can focus on vowels like ah, ooh, ah, if that feels less familiar to you. Leaning into the weirdness, leaning into the wildness, leaning into the authentic and pure self-expression. There's no need to judge. There's no need to limit or hold back or oppress yourself. The systems of oppression have become internalized, and we are here to reclaim our full power, not just partial. All of our power, all of our being, all of our essence, divine feminine included. So on your inhales, you can imagine that you're breathing in your power, reclaiming your true vital essence, your full soul, your full power, your full energy. And on your exhale, vocalizing. Allowing your spine to move intuitively. And you might feel called to rise up out of your seat and to move, or you can keep moving and undulating the spine in a seated position. Maybe shaking out one arm, shaking out the other, shaking out one leg, shaking out the other, shaking out your body, shaking out your head, shaking out your shoulders, doing a little shimmy. You can fling your hands towards the ground, clearing and releasing energy from your field. All while sticking with the breath and the verbal exhales. Feeling the freedom in your spine as you keep moving and shaking and undulating and spiraling, spinning yourself open. One thing I love to do if it's accessible to you is come into a forward fold, hands and feet both on the earth or towards the earth, and sort of shake out. Shake out through your arms, through your head, through your legs, wiggle through your hips, and start to release all the energy downwards into the earth. Pausing for a moment, tuning in to your body, to every sensation in your body, any heat that you have cultivated through this movement, any sensations in the spine and the hips. Finding your way back to a seated position. Any final movements working their way through your body as you return to this deep and intentional breath in through the mouth, out through the mouth, using the pursed lips to increase sensation, to increase presence. Hands on your belly, on your womb, on your hara. And I invite you to relax. So if you are upright, you can lean your back against something, you can lay down. I want you to surrender physically. Tune into your breath. And visualize a spiral of light rising from your earth chakra, your earth star chakra beneath your feet, into your root chakra, the base of your spine, the spiral of Kundalini energy. And visualize that spiral, that snake of light, that serpent rising from your root to your sacral, spiraling up to your solar plexus, to your heart, your higher heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. This is your Shakti, your divine feminine energy that rises to the masculine, that creates balance in the restoration of the awakening of the divine feminine in your body. This is the reawakening of divine feminine presence. Feel each chakra glowing with light. As the serpent of consciousness is coiled through each, from tip to bottom. And feel a natural spiral energy that rises from your root to your crown. Feel a gentle flow of energy spiraling up your spine, up through your chakras, illuminating the portal, the gate of each chakra, rising to meet your crown and your higher chakras. Extending this spiral of light up from your crown through your higher chakras, all the way out to the Divine Mother, the Great Mother, the Divine Feminine, the female aspect of Source. And when you connect to this Divine Mother presence, allow the light, the love of that Divine Feminine field to expand through your coil of energy, through your spiral, through your entire body, aura, energy field, throughout your entire being. The entire connection is held in this beautiful field of light, of love, of Divine Feminine presence. And in this space, if you feel comfortable to do so, you can ask the Divine Mother, the Great Mother, any questions you might have. You can open yourself up to receive the energies of the Divine Feminine, or open yourself up to receive any answers, any wisdom, any guidance, any self-reflection that you are ready for at this time. From this space, you can call in any Divine Feminine archetypes, deities, archangels, guides, whatever it might be, into this space, your highest self, and ask anything that you are ready to receive, any questions that you are ready to receive the answers of. If you want them to scan your body field and tell you what needs to be healed, released, cleared, loved, nurtured, do so at this time. I will give you a few minutes here. Knowing that you are divinely safe and protected the entire time. taking a moment to get any final energies, any final answers. And you can always pause or rewind if you need more time here. Otherwise, I'm calling you back, thanking the Divine Mother, the Great Mother, all divine feminine beings who joined us here in this space, who gave us energies, guidance, healing, clearings, balance, whatever it might have been that you received in this session, giving thanks, honoring the divine feminine within you and within all. Beginning to bring your consciousness back to the physical world, to your physical body, taking a few deep breaths, helping anchor and integrate all of these vast and eternal energies into the here and the now. Maybe a few audible sigh exhales. Maybe rolling your neck, rolling your wrists. Stretching. Rising out of the depths. Back to present awareness. Maybe hands on your heart. Bringing awareness back to the body. And when you are ready, you can gently blink the eyes open. Take back in the physical surroundings that you hopefully lost track of in that session, in that activation. Ooh. So one thing that I would love for us all to do, for those who feel receptive, is I want the comment section on this video to be a safe space for us to express intuitively what we received in this session. Anything that you received that you believe would be helpful to all divine feminine beings everywhere to hear, any message, any guidance, any reflection that you receive from the Divine Mother, from your divine feminine beings who joined you, anything that helped you and you feel would help others to hear, please bring that forward in the comment section. And I'm going to start that process, get the ball rolling by briefly sharing what came through for me. And I will be looking for all of your comments so I can see what you guys experienced as well. So the first energy that was coming through, I was sort of asking for a reflection on how the divine feminine energy is sitting in my body and my being and my energy recently. And the Divine Mother was showing me that all of the trust, all of the flow, all of the surrender that I have been leaning into recently is all the awakening and the blooming of that divine feminine frequency within me. As I continue to surrender control and release my fear and release my doubts and my lack and come more and more into trust, into love, into abundance, into deep presence, the divine feminine awakens and balances within me. She was saying, the divine feminine doesn't create from a place of lack. So the divine feminine doesn't create from this place of, am I going to get what I want? Do I deserve what I want? Am I worthy? Is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? The divine feminine doesn't create from that space. The divine feminine creates from a space of knowing that you are worthy of all your heart's hopes, wants, wishes, dreams, desires. You are worthy. You are inherently worthy of them. All that you want and hope and desire that is in your highest good is going to unfold and manifest in your life. And so it no longer becomes a matter of if, and it becomes a matter of when. And to even surrender concepts of when is it going to happen, how is it going to happen, because our human mind cannot create in the vastness and the expansiveness in the sense or in the way that our highest self or the divine mother can. And so that brings in that element of surrender. We are the creator, the creatrix. We harness, we anchor, we magnetize those frequencies by calling them into our reality and living as them. And so when you've heard in sort of certain manifestation practices, you have to be the millionaire, you have to feel like the millionaire in order to manifest it. You don't have to sort of parade around like, I can buy this and I can buy that. It's more so this feeling of trust, this feeling of knowing that you are worthy, you are deserving of your heart's hopes, wants, wishes, desires, dreams, all of it. You are worthy. And the universe loves you, source loves you, the divine loves you and honors you and respects you. And all of this will come to fruition. All of this will come to reality. And you just have to release the how, the when, the why, the where, the if, and know that it's all going to manifest. It's all going to magnetize and appear in divine timing, in your highest good. When it is meant to be there, it will be there. Everything you want to experience, you will. Everything you want to be, you are. And so it's not this space of fake it until you make it. It's this space of trusting and surrendering to the process. Even if on this internal level you are calling in all this beauty, all this abundance, all this magnetism and love and charm, and your external reality isn't necessarily reflecting all of that internal beauty quite yet. It's trust. Not allowing the external to create doubt or fear or resistance or frustration, because you are moving through it. You are surrendering to the old to allow it to wash over and wash away and allow the next wave of the new energies to be magnetized in, to be called in. So if you visualize yourself as the shore, and this wave that is coming in is the current reality that you're experiencing. Maybe you're experiencing lack in any which way, lack of abundance, lack of love, lack of harmony, lack of peace, whatever it might be. And this immediate reality is this first wave that's closest to the shore. And imagine the wave behind that is all of your hopes, all of your desires, all your dreams, everything that you are calling in, everything that you know you want, and you hope that you deserve, which we are now switching to know that we deserve. Imagine that we have so much resistance to that first wave. We have so much resistance to that outer reality that we are pushing that closest wave out. We are holding that wave away from shore because we are doing that energetically with our resistance. Where if we just allow it to flow, to live out its life, to live out its natural process, that is the only way that the second wave behind it can ever come to shore. If we are holding the first wave back, if we are holding and resisting the present reality, that second wave of divine energy can never flow in. So we can't resist, we can't control, we can't, dictate. We have to go with the flow, quite literally. And when we allow what exists to pass, because all things pass, all things end, all things evolve, all things change, when we allow our present reality to simply be, and we stay in our trusting, we stay in our knowing, we stay in our loving, it will pass. And the sun will rise again. That next wave will finally be able to come into shore, and you'll finally be able to experience it as your new reality when you allow it. when you stop resisting what is, you allow in what is coming, what is becoming. Okay? That was what came through, and that's just like, makes my heart happy, makes my heart so happy. It's so beautiful. From coming from like an OCD and control freak background to this space of trusting and loving and knowing that I'm worthy, knowing that I'm worthy, knowing that you are worthy, trusting in something greater than just ourselves, trusting in this bigger picture, this divine feminine energy. So beautiful. So beautiful. And then there was also this heart space, like this divine feminine heart space energy that we all sort of need to heal in the regards of being accepted. That the divine feminine needs to feel safe in the heart space again, to be accepted as she is, not having to cage herself, limit herself, repress herself. And so that is something I will be working on as well. All right, maybe an activation will come with that as well. All right, so I love you guys so much. Please leave your messages, your guidance in the comments for my sake, for other people's sake. Let's share, let's heal together. Thank you so much for doing this activation with me today. I love you so, so, so much. I hope it served you well. I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, all right, bye-bye. Take care. Namaste.